Hello, I'm Al Rivera, and this is the Lumix BGH1. That's when I run my music, and then I come at you with this. What in the world is going on, filmmakers? I hope everything is well. Here is my review. Now let's do this. Now that that's out of the way, I purchased the Lumix BGH1 from B&H early December, played with it for around a week or two at home, was going to do an unboxing video that I never actually got around to doing. I packed it, brought it with me on this shoot as I am out of the country. I am now going live with my review. Bear with me, there's a lot to do here. Now with that said, I am going to read to you my review. I'm running a slideshow of pics that I did of the the BGH1, and this slideshow allegedly was for my unboxing video, as I said, that never happened. I was in a quandary regarding the Lumix BGH1, but I circumvented my prudent ways, went to B&H and bought it. Vacillating before the purchase, I pipelined to the Pro Video department at B&H, where a video tech, to my dismay, erroneously answered all my questions, making this the first of many disappointments. Ostensibly, the Lumix BGH1 is a restyled and improved GH5S fitted into a box form resembling the Zcam box cameras, but I soon discovered the workflow had a rather arduous learning curve. Without a LCD screen, the BGH1 compelled me to set up two monitors belly to belly. A Shogun 7 connected via SDI at 1080p with camera info displayed, and a Ninja V connected via the HDMI without the camera info to record ProRes RAW. With the monitors in place, here I go. Please bear in mind, forgive me, I'm trying to read my own handwriting. Check that out. Back. With the monitors in place, here I go. This camera lacks a 4K SDI, and that is an awful omission from Panasonic. It lacks NDI, waveform, Vetroscope, and RAW recording. This is 2021, and there is no RAW recording. Go figure. The battery I purchased is gigantic and almost physically larger than the camera. I got a pics of that. Pay attention to that one. The BGH1 felt heftier than I expected, and once the battery was attached, it seemed heavier than my GH5 or my GH5S. The registration pinhole accommodating the tripod plate is located between two 1/4 20 threads with no additional 3/8 thread holes down there. I missed that. The camera has 9 1/4 20 females on the body, 3 on the right, 3 on the left, and 3 on top, but does not have any 3/8 thread holes anywhere on this camera. The HDMI connection does not have a locking device, something that I'm going to solve with a small rig cage. The rear output covers were cumbersome. I removed them and then had a hellish time replacing them. I guess sooner or later I'm going to break them. If not, I'm going to lose them. A quick tip for anyone: do not remap the F1N button at any cost. It controls the display info output, and you are going to need that. The camera has a fan, but the noise is innocuous as it is incredibly quiet. The bottom camera plate was uncannily hot after 2 hours. The manual states that the BGH1 is not weatherproof, nothing at all, and that is not good considering that I am accustomed to shooting in any environment with my GH5 and my GH5S. The front function buttons are small and difficult to locate. With my gloves on, it was near impossible for me to find them or to activate them. There is a power on indication on the front of the body, but nowhere else, and I found that very annoying from the get-go. The camera has a rear network indicator light that functions somewhat as a power on indicator. There is a front tally light and a small one on the rear. They work. The battery, contrary to the video tech at B&H assuring me it did, does not charge off the camera like Sony cameras do. The BGH1 does not have a data recovery feature. I know, I pulled the plug to see. It does not have it. Once I connected the camera to the Lumix tethering app and played around with it, my first thoughts of this app, completely useless. I have no need for it. The BGH1 out of the box does not stream. Really, it does not stream. And I find that incredulous considering the key selling point of this camera is connectivity for streaming. There is a firmware update coming, but who knows when. Therefore, if streaming is your sole reason for buying this camera, I suggest you keep your GH5 and buy a Bird Dog NDI converter or a Atomos 4K Connect and go live with OBS. Forget the BGH1, you don't need it for streaming. The OBS software never recognized the camera as a video capture device, even though the video tech at B&H mentioned it to me as a selling point. And after trying myriad connections, I simply gave up and streamed live on OBS utilizing my Atomos 4K Connect. That's simple. Now, to keep it sweet, should you buy the Lumix BGH1? Do you have a GH5 or a GH5S? If you do, you should skip this camera, save the money, and just simply buy the Bird Dog Studio NDI or the Atomos 4K Connect, and you are ready to go. Do I regret my purchase? Let's see what happens in the real world. But it's salient to me, Panasonic is not at the vanguard of the mirrorless world anymore. Maybe the real deal is coming down the line. The GH6 packed with 6K 30p 422 10 bits, 4K 120p 444 12 bits, 2K at 960 frames per second 420 10 bits, the Asus color space, and RAW. That's my review before I left the country with the camera. Now I am going to take a break. Just let me cut a second. I'm going to pass. I'm going to run a slideshow of the menu and I'll get right back to you. I am back. Please bear in mind that I am speaking to the laptop and there's a lot of ambient noise coming through the windows. I am in a hotel and it's just noisy here. I am now going to run the slide menu app as I read the notes from the set. Here we go with part 2. These are the things noted after 3 weeks of shooting in a studio and 3 locations with the BGH1. These notes are not in any order, and I am reading off handwritten notes. Therefore, please cut me some slack. I cleaned it up a little, but it's still handwritten notes. I was shooting a dancer with a filter effect added, and then the director asked for 120 frames per second. I switched over, and bang! The filter effect was overwritten by the variable frame rate. This was an awfully bad situation and embarrassing to say the least. The BGH1 menu does not pick up where I left off. What I mean about that is I would like Panasonic to add a feature where if I am in one menu and I have to go out for a second, once I press menu again, if I could come back to that spot. Let's see what happens. Not having a power indicator on the rear was extremely annoying. I knew that was going to happen. The image quality of the BGH1 is simply beautiful. The digital zoom 2x looks actually good. The My Photo Style and Exposure Comp are fantastic additions to the menu. are fantastic additions to the menu. I wonder if Panasonic can provide a labeling feature so I can identify them. The absence of a 3/8/16 female anywhere on the body became an issue as the AC wanted to attach her monitor and arm. The problem? Her arm had a 3/8/16 on one end and a quarter 20 on the other end, but her monitor only had a quarter 20 for mounting. If the BGH1 had a 3/8/16 anywhere, that wouldn't have been an issue, or I think the small cage rig should have that. Would not have been an issue. But anyway, I had a difficult time finding the download page for the manual, searching here, searching there, and the situation became the same with the firmware update. I have no info and I still don't know how to do this. On day 2 of shooting, excuse me, I jumped here. On day 2 of shooting, the BGH1's menu appeared ghost-like on my Shogun 7. After I cleared the display with the FM1 button, that ghost-like image did not appear in the final recorded file, and since then I have not seen it again. The Shogun was burning up connected to the BGH1, but that heat problem was not present with the Sony FS700. The Shogun's time-stamping on the footage was 5 hours off when it was connected to the BGH1, but once I connected the Sony FS700, the stamping was right on. The Shogun 7's power pack, the one that actually goes into the AC outlet, was burning up only when I was connected to the box. When I reconnected with the Sony, it never reheated even though we were shooting raw the entire day. Here's a tip for you. Set the outermost Shogun 7 control menu to P3 and then the BGH1 triggers the Shogun. I had it on Panasonic and it wouldn't trigger. My eBay GH5 remote did not function with the BGH1. I don't think that's a big deal, but since I tried it, just wanted to mention that. And while I'm at it again, let me mention the image quality of this camera is fantastic. Panasonic needs to add a full help feature to describe the functions of the menu setting and info as to why I cannot set a grayed out item. Regarding low light levels, I saw a 2/3 improvement over the GH5. I think my tops is 1600. I would never go above 1600, and I recommend you don't either. As a matter of fact, I probably am never going to set this camera above 800 ISO as I do with my GH5S. I just took a glance at the on-set edited footage as the editor was on site. The BGH1 image quality, again, it is breathtaking. This camera is literally approaching the Vericam or the Alexa territory. The BGH1's bottom plate was extremely hot at the end of the day and bordering on burning. In addition, the SDI and HDMI connection tips were extremely hot to the touch. You cannot monitor Vlog with LT Assist as it always embeds the footage. I thought I was doing something wrong. I went to the manual and from my understanding, it says the LUT is applied. I think it was page 120 to 123. Connectivity is this camera's selling point, but I couldn't connect anything but the Type-C connection and only to the tethering app. My laptop did not recognize the LAN connection, and the tethering app did not recognize the LAN connection either. When the tethering app is connected, I couldn't format the cards. I had to disconnect the app, format the cards, and then reconnect the app, and I found that a waste of time. I was annoyed to see the menu on my laptop as the tethering app was active, and neither did I didn't say that right. Basically, if you have your computer connected to the tethering app, whatever you do on the camera appears on that computer. And my director was sitting next to me and using my computer as a monitor, and that was rather annoying. Therefore, I kind of just took it out, attached an HDMI cable to a TV, and that solved that problem. Another thing about the tethering app is I couldn't go full screen with it, and there's this white frame outline in the middle that I couldn't get rid of. That was also very annoying. And the same situation with the Lumix Sync app that I had on my tablet. Again, I had that white frame line, and I couldn't go full screen. On the GH5S app, I could go full screen. What else do I have? Oh, here's another one. I couldn't find on the app how to look for a firmware update. I mentioned that before. The Bluetooth connection, I was never able to connect it at all. The new layout is nice and it's very easy to navigate. I can't say enough about this. I really, really liked it. And once again, I have to leave with I don't have 4K SDI. That is why I always say when everything else fails, just shoot. Like, subscribe, and I am out of here. Oh, I forgot. I hooked up the Atomos 4K Connect. Here it is, live. I'm doing a little rack focus there, and the camera set at Vlog. Okay, I'm back here. Thanks for checking this out. I hope I provided a little bit of info before you spend your money. Like, subscribe, and I shall see you on the next one.